The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Maeve's and the Garavogue Bar.
Were you giving out about yours there? What were you talking about?
What?
Oh no, houses, was it?
We were talking, me and James were talking
I
houses.
heard you both giving out and I said, it's yours.
No, it's not yours. We were talking about houses. Myself and welcome to 279, by the way, everybody.
You bought a house together, you and James.
So me and James we're trying to make a house, a home.
Yeah.
And we are both, we've women involved.
Yeah.
And the women are, I'd say in James's case as well as my own, the more...
A shower, what
No,
were you
they're
calling
not.
them again?
We didn't call them anything.
You said witches or something?
No, we didn't say that. No.
What did you say?
We just said that obviously they'd be more into the whole idea of getting things done fast.
Oh yeah.
Where us men understand the dynamics of dealing with a contractor.
Yes.
You can't be wrecking his head all the time.
Oh, don't listen. This is the thing as well. Nicola thinks
we scratched an itch here for you now, have we?
Nicola thinks that I should just be on the phone all the time to people. That's what she thinks.
Yeah, something's not getting done, Mark.
But the other side of it is I'm a fella as well. And also fellas have a natural...
You know how fellas feel when someone's on the phone to them all the time. Yeah.
My car now has been in the mechanics for like 3 weeks, but it's an awful job to do. Yeah. And I know exactly what's happening. Mm-hmm. He's laving that until he has time.
Till he has the motivation to do it.
Yeah, and every day there's another car coming in that just needs something changed.
And I'd say that your car is bothering him. I'd say it's on his mind at night. He's going, jeez, I have to get that joke finished.
He's thinking, I have to do that.
That bag of shite is the worst car that ever came in
the day. Yeah. I don't know how it has more wheels
burn
on it. Yeah, but that's what he's thinking. And I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm like, hopefully now, Willie, someday you'll go, I'll just hammer into it now to hell. Yeah. No, I'm not going to leave him for a year, like.
No, you're not. But
I'm going to leave him alone for a minute.
Leave him alone for a week.
Yeah.
I think weeks are good blocks.
Weeks are really good blocks. Yeah. I rang him last Friday. I can't be wrecking his head on a Wednesday.
Ringing him on a Wednesday.
I can't be wrecking his head on a Wednesday.
No.
So I'm going to leave it to him. But Nicola every day is like, and do you know what the worst thing is? I'm at home, like 7 o'clock up, ready to go. Yeah. Nicola's off to work, then Addy's off to creche, and I'm there with Layla.
Yeah.
9:30 I'd get a call. Well, did you get this done yet? You're like, I'm only in the shack and doer.
I know.
Do you know the thing about Nicola's? No, I'm only about, like, I'm not just singing out Nicola, but this is fellas. Like, this is something that we know amongst each other.
Yeah.
I'll not. We know when to ring.
Because equally, I give credit to Laura.
Stop, because I just wrecked that. Say something bad about her,
I can't.
Like this, you do this all the time.
Fine. Come on. Wait till I try it.
I can't believe you said that.
So Laura thinks, give him what's going on, like. Now, in fairness, I have to give a shout out. A man we will speak about. Maybe give him a bit of advertising if I can get it indirectly. Winky, winky.
No, say nothing.
Say nothing, says you. The man that's doing our house, a man called Trevor Doherty.
Yeah.
And he's a great man.
You shouldn't have said his name.
I don't mind saying the name. Because you got to give him a shout out because he's mighty, in fairness to him. I get on fierce about him. I say he hates me. I like to think that, I'm not the most annoying thing in his life.
Yeah.
But I think he's great.
Yeah.
And a mighty thing happened last week. They put the scaffolding up.
Oh, yup.
So this kicked everything off, and all of a sudden, oh my God, the scaffolding up, and half of it's in the neighbour's house, which I didn't realise was going to happen, but they were sound about it.
Oh, were they actually?
Yeah, they were sound about it, in fairness. So the scaffolding went up. We thought this was it. Now it's happening. Yeah. Right? Nothing happened for a week. And now, in fairness, we found out later that he was trying to get a roofer, which is, you need apparently a roofer to take a roof off.
That's a disgrace. You can't just do it yourself.
But you know what Trevor did? He came down on Friday, and he was up on Friday, and he put up a big banner on the front of the house, right? Big Trevor Doherty sign. Big orange Trevor Doherty sign. Looked unbelievable. Yeah. Why do you think that went up?
Why?
Because the parade went straight past it.
Isn't he unbelievable? The Cycle St. Patrick's Day parade went straight past the house.
That's good advertising, like.
Jeez, he's
half the
lethal.
town walking by. But no, I'm sure he has reassured me today now, and I haven't even told Laura this yet, that action will be taken today. It'll be action tomorrow and some action on Friday.
No. And once you get a job started like that, Trevor, like you kind of just go for it then. Like I know that when your man starts my car, he'll just go for it, and that'll be it.
Well, it's not the same. Mechanics are different to builders. Trevor,
they're not.
He'll have a burst of activity, I'm sure, for a week, and then there'll be another fortnight where there won't be a burst of activity.
Yeah, because he'll have other stuff, smaller things to do.
Be at.
This is triage.
Yeah.
And it's the same in every... Like, if I went into the doctor now with... let's say I go into A&E.
Right.
Okay? And I have an awful pain that they just can't find, like...
Yeah.
But I'm not dying.
Yeah, okay.
And then a fella comes in and he clearly says, I chopped off the top of my finger. They go, we'll sew that back on in an hour.
Yeah.
We're obviously just going to sew that back on now for your man.
Yeah.
The other fella, we don't even know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And it's going to take ages to figure out what's going on with him. That's my car now.
Yes. Yeah, it is, yeah.
So he's getting cars in every day.
Yeah, it's very good.
And he's going, I'll just do this one now because it'll only take me 2 hours.
Yeah.
Your man needs the car now because you're driving to work. I don't need the car. I'm not putting pressure on him.
You're driving around a sporty little Megane.
Yeah, I'm driving Nicola's car now. And it's like, Nicola's like, you get that. So I'm like, I have to pay him. Like when it's done.
That's right.
So the longer it goes on, the more time
the better
I
it is.
have.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, the longer it goes on, the more I have to come up with the money.
So the longer I get away with this.
Yeah, the less chance I have.
The fact that we are talking about the house situation, it brings me to the only thing I have to talk about in today's podcast.
Yeah.
A few weeks back, are you familiar with the old RTE shows that do put on about houses and doing them up?
Oh yeah, like Dermot Bannon does a few.
Job.
They have House of the Year is another one.
Yeah, and then there's, I don't know what this one is. Great.
I always think of like a house crying whenever it wins House of the Year. Oh jeez,
the tears coming out of the windows.
Yeah, like a face. Like.
Yeah. No, they have Great Irish Houses is a series that's on at the moment, and it was my sister Joanne says, do you know something that we watched an episode of that? It was great. It reminded us of you and Laura. She said.
Yeah.
So I said, right, we'll watch this. So one of the evenings, myself and Laura took into it. So it was about a couple down in Cork,
right,
and they bought a big old house on a hill. Right.
Like an old house.
An old house. Yeah. Let me tell you, it was the worst house that I've ever seen.
This old house, it needs new shingles. This old house, it needs a door. This old house, it needs a back door. What?
Who sings that song?
Did Elvis Presley sing that? This old house. Yeah.
It's very.
This old house gets off and shaky. This old house, it has no planning.
This old house, anyway, was a shit tip. It was an absolute disaster. There was a now lime green colour on it. There was more shite littered around it. It had been really mistreated over the previous 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So it was John and his wife.
I
don't remember the wife's
name.
name.
Yeah, but the wife wasn't allowed to say her name.
No,
this is John and this is the wife.
This is the wife, yeah.
Oh yeah, shut up. Right.
No, she immediately turned around and when's the builder starting?
Yeah. Ring him, John.
Yeah, ring him, John.
Come here, where's that RG fella coming down? Will you ring him? They said the season's not on until November. Ring him now.
You have to picture then me and Laura watching this. So obviously we're in a very similar situation. We're going through a similar thing.
Yeah. Now you didn't buy a shitbox or house, you bought a beautiful house.
We bought a beautiful house, but it needs a renovation.
Work,
yeah. So as we watched the show, wasn't John, they had problems drawing down mortgages and getting funding and all sorts of things. It was delays. What do you think John did?
Divorced her.
Tore into it.
Oh yeah.
Like the manly man that he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was doing all the jobs.
Yeah.
He hired a digger.
He did.
He cleared around the whole house.
You can't do that anymore, really.
Then he was waiting on builders coming in. He said, I'll take down the walls in the house myself.
Jesus
so Christ. Him and the brother I don't have a brother. That's what I said to Laura. I said, I have no brother. I have 3 sisters and each one of them is useless at construction as the next.
Yeah.
So, but she's sitting there going, geez, isn't he great?
Isn't he brilliant that
isn't
he done
he brilliant? Not only that, then he's also a landscape gardener. Now that didn't come in handy till towards the end. But he did all the work.
Yeah, so this John fella, right? I see loads of Irish women.
Oh, he was driving me demented.
Yeah, but getting themselves a John. Okay?
You think Johns are fairly plentiful in the world?
No, they're very plentiful in Ireland. And God forgive me. Jesus, God forgive me. Did you ever see an unmatched couple?
Why?
A beautiful woman and a fella that, like, this is my own prejudice, that I would go, are you joking me? You're one. That's
so the beautiful woman and then you'd have
a fella.
A fella.
That I'd be like,
well, how is that working?
How is that working?
Yeah, and do you think he's a John?
I haven't seen John now. He's very beautiful as well.
John's a nice
No, but I'm just using him as
well.
an example. I don't know him. But that's the Johns. They go for the right fellas, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what Nicola saw in me, but let's say Nicola thought, gee, Kendy's beautiful.
Yeah.
She made a bad call because she didn't get a John.
She got distracted by her good looks.
She did, and she did not get...
No, she get a John. Well, Laura equally didn't get a John because I'm sitting there looking at this fella doing, and the whole family, they were talking to his mother, her mother, there was grandparents, there was everybody, even the architect Brooke from RT was coming in going, geez, fair play to John.
That John fella some bite.
John was just working every hour that God gave him, outside of the job he was actually doing. And then Laura's looking at me going, what are you doing? I were off playing weddings with Kendy.
Yeah.
What's that going to do? Get me into my house.
The thing
and
well
no sign of Trevor at all. All he's doing putting up banners.
Yeah. But so the thing is, like, we're never going to be like that. Like, if Laura thinks that me and you were just going to ring, I
took out the kitchen.
Yeah, but like ring. Yeah, you took out the kitchen.
I took out the kitchen. I thought it was enough, and I swept up twice. There was once after.
Did you make tea for Trevor at one of these stages?
I did. I brought Trevor and
biscuits and everything. No, but if Laura thinks, geez, I hope Ray rings Kendy now and they just hit into this now for a couple of weeks. Because I see that all the time.
Do you remember the time we carried out that press?
Yeah.
That was a good 20 minutes of work.
I didn't hear a thank you. I didn't hear a fucking...
No.
I didn't go home to Nicola going, oh, take me now. Like, which, you know.
Yeah. I really thought the Snickers bands would do a serious job in our
when
lives.
When I came home after that, because it took us about 2 or 3 minutes to get that press out.
It was a tough press.
And when I came home to Nicola, she wasn't wiping me brow. Do you know?
Yeah.
There was no... She didn't go, geez, the manliness and that fella lifting out that press. Yeah. But... what was I going to say before that? Oh yeah, so the whole point is we're never going to take off into that. I'd be watching Grand Designs as well.
Yeah,
I love Grand Designs.
I love Grand Designs
because your man is such a smarmy bastard.
I love him.
You're going to get this done for 200,000.
It's exactly what I'm saying at home.
Yeah. So always it goes in order to save money. Timmy dragged in 10 of his friends. And I'm like, I don't have 10 friends that can fix nothing, man. They couldn't change a plug.
But you've brought me on to another thing. Laura said on many occasions, you've loads of friends.
To get them in.
And they get them in and do it. I can't bring myself to ask them.
No, but we're shite as it too.
It nearly killed me to ask you about the press that day, because I know you're a busy father.
I am a busy father now.
You're a busy father up and down.
But I am a busy father up and down the house. But I'd be no use to you.
No.
I wouldn't know how to drywall, dry panel. I wouldn't know how to fuck.
No, but I'm sure if I actually got a recce down, we'd probably get bits done.
Yeah.
Like there's a scatter of rubbish now in the toilet. We could take all that out.
Yeah, no, but that's icky. I'm not doing that.
It is pure icky.
It is pure icky. I'm not doing that either.
Yeah.
Getting all dirt in my hands and stuff. Like, did you ever see builders like eating lunch? Like, I'm like, you're eating the concrete off your own hands there. So the boys wouldn't wash it out. I see them. What?
They're mainly men.
They're proper boys.
They're Johns that do it full time.
Yeah, we are sissy boys, right? No, well, I don't know about you. You're definitely manlier than I am. I'm a dirty sissy boy. And I think that's probably... I think that's...
A dirty sissy boy.
I think that's probably why Nicola doesn't respect me. No, like...
Why she treats you like a child.
A little bit, yeah. Like, and I'm getting very deep now into relationship stuff. Like, and I get by, like... But, like, I don't think Nicola would have... she doesn't treat me the way...
Can we call the episode Dirty Sissy Boy? We call it that. Is that PC? Is it? Like, once we're taking chunks out of ourselves.
No.
In the context, see, people think we're talking about someone else.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, you're being very degrading.
Back in school, if you were calling someone a sissy boy, it was something else.
Sissy was a light one now in our school.
Sissy.
Yeah, you would be called, like, that would be a real light jive.
Yeah. You started crying at lunchtime. Your man's only sissy. Yeah, no, dirty sissy boy is a bit more. So, but Nicola probably loves me, probably. But she wouldn't, she doesn't, she leaves the house every day. What's the best way to describe? When Nicola comes home at 4 o'clock, she's just putting fires out.
Right.
She comes home and puts out 16 fires I've caused that day.
Have you gotten into the female version now where you were nagging her about stuff then when she does come in?
No, but I don't be nagging her at all.
Oh, you don't? So she's coming home to peace?
Yeah. No, she's coming home to... Like, she's probably coming home to my head wrecked, like.
Oh, okay.
But, the house is on fire, like.
Yeah.
And she has to put on the overalls and put the fire out.
And try and save the dirty system.
And, like, it's not fair on her, like. It really isn't fair on her because I should be doing better. But I am... trying my best as well at the same time.
Will you have the dinner cooked for her now when she gets home?
No. But I will cook the dinner when she gets home. But the problem is then, you see, I then usually have to go out and do something like this.
Yes, you do.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And I'm looking after Layla and Ali's away. But when I go, Nicola's looking after the two of them.
She's well able, I'd say.
She's well able, like.
Yeah.
But she also doesn't, like, keep house, as in... I'll try my best to keep everyone happy, like, and not wreck Ali's head and Layla's head.
Yeah.
But Nicola's a fine mother.
Oh,
I left the house there. Her and Ali were in a standoff.
Really?
I won't get in a standoff with Ali.
You just give her away?
Yeah.
You're a really good dad, in fairness.
No, but that's not a good thing though either.
Yeah. I seen on Paddy's Day,
wow.
Which is just gone. I hope everybody enjoyed it and tried to face themselves. Yeah. On Paddy's Day, I went in to see you playing and thought I had to go and support my friend.
Yeah, fair play to you.
He didn't ask me to play the bass in the gig, but look, nonetheless,
you could have if you wanted.
I'd come down and do a little bit, but
no more than you at the house. I'd be afraid to ask.
Yeah,
go on anyway.
But Nicola anyway came in with the two children.
Yeah,
and Ali was there, the eldest now with the two daughters.
Yes,
and I witnessed firsthand the female strap that was pulled. So she'd be having a wonderful time dancing around with all the adults. It was like we were back in the 1990s, the way pubs used to be, riddled with children.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, it's now Paddy's Day.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ali walking around with a bottle of cider in one hand and a bag of tate in the other hand. and a Turkish delight shoved down her front
bacon
pocket.
Fries. Like it was great. Like
and a pool cue.
Yeah, like my parents just brought us to play pool till 5 a.m.
Yeah, but then Louise tried to put her up in a stool and she lost the head.
Yeah, you can't mess with her like that.
She's like, I have no intention of going up in that stool.
Isn't it mad? That's where you saw it, like. And at one stage, then she made the beeline for the door, going, "That's it now.
That's it. I'm going home."
She's I'm going home now. Well, she was actually going over to see her friend Dermot, but
how did that feel? He said that she wanted to see a young gentleman up in the.
Yeah, so she goes to crash with this wee kid called Dermot that she loves, like, and she met him up in Queen Maeve Square for the music, like.
Yeah.
Then she came down to see me, and then she remembered, Jesus, Dermot's still up in the square. Yeah. So she was gone. She was out the door. She had the jacket on.
How does that make you feel now? That's the first hint of her loving fellas.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to do that now, but the second he's 18, I'll puck the jaw of him.
Right. I hope his parents listen.
Ali's, his parents are actually lovely. Ali's in class with all fellas, like. So it's only her. She's the only girl.
Oh, jeez, she did well there.
But
that's a bit like someone who was going to college in Mary I down in Limerick. You were a fella in Mary I.
No, she literally.
Best life ever.
She's doing civil engineering here in the ATU.
That's
what she's doing.
It's the mad too that there's certain professions that if you go into them,
she's doing carpentry.
Like if I was kind of coming out of secondary school going, I'd love to be a speech therapist.
Yeah,
I would most likely be the only fella in that class.
Yeah. Like I did social care here in the college. Like,
were you the only fella?
I was one. So there was 90 something in our year. There was like 8 lads. Like, do you know?
Yeah.
So there is certain professions that they lead towards.
I'd say girl farmers as well as
yeah, but that's a big thing now on
rarity.
TikTok.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big one now on TikTok, is girls that farm. Do you know? But that's the kind of crack there with all that. What were we on about again? Nicola, I love you. Sorry, no, like, I mean, I was trying to. I'm letting you know that you're obviously right all the time and I'm wrong. Okay, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
There was something else I wanted to say to you on all that now. Oh yeah, Paddy's weekend.
Paddy's weekend.
Did you watch me?
No.
Do you think I could go on and do it to hell?
What?
Without? Yeah.
Oh, no, so okay, just for people, for context, on St. Patrick's Day there was a parade in Sligo and Kendy was asked to present it with veteran presenter Robert Kendy.
Patrick Fitzrobbie.
Yeah,
is the way to call him.
Yeah, so it's the two of you were on the presenting, and my mother and father said you were tremendous.
Oh, did they watch
it? But this is your what, second or third year doing it?
This is my second year doing it.
Yeah, and apparently they said, what, Brendan called you a natural born presenter.
No.
Yeah.
No, with enough facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Blowing smoke up your hole, I don't know what he wants. But yeah, I didn't watch it because the parade goes outside the house for us.
Yeah, so you just watched the parade.
For the first time ever, I was able to drink a cup of tea and eat a Cadbury's caramel cake bar on the front doorstep.
That
of the
is
house.
lovely. It starts on your road too.
It starts on our road, so it's wonderful. Everything. Now the only thing is you don't catch the good stuff
because they're only kicking off.
They're only going to kicking off.
Yeah.
But the pipe bands are mighty.
Aren't they unbelievable? I really mean that. Like, there's something.
Why isn't there more pipers?
Well, I mean, there was about 19 pipe bands now, Ray. There was so many pipe bands.
How come it's not a big thing down the south? Now, I know the whole orange order and all that jazz, but surely that's not the only reason that everybody's into piping.
I don't know. Like, I mean, Castlerea is a brass and reed band.
Really?
Yeah, the Castlerea brass and reed band would be.
But there was no pipe bands around my parts when I was growing up.
No, I can't remember any of them either. We grew up on. You know, Derek was in the brass and reed band.
Yeah, and he
played the trumpet,
trumpet,
or the trombone, or something. But the famous story about I'm really worried about telling stories about home now, but I really hope this is true because I don't remember it. Apparently, so they played Hyde Park for the Connacht final every year, you know.
Yeah.
So the Castlerea Brass and Reed Band was the band that led the teams out onto the pitch, and
very prestigious.
They played so they'd play all the big tunes, the big, you know, and
Fireball.
Fireball and all that.
Yeah.
Timber. I'm going down. But they apparently someone misread a sheet and started into a hymn while they were leading the teams around the pitch and the fella at the front who's adjudicating or whatever said, lads, we're playing
I don't think he's an adjudicator.
We're playing a hymn.
He's a conductor.
A conductor, yeah. He said we're playing a fucking hymn.
What kind of a hymn?
It must have been Nearer My God's Day or something.
Nearer My God's Day. What's the scandal about Leitrim GA? I know we shouldn't venture back to them.
So
and before we get into it,
yeah.
Just as we're leaving the pipe bands.
Did you ever hear someone sneeze on a podcast before?
No. That's beautiful.
Oh, Lord above. Go on anyway.
Get it out of you. I also noticed around town, I don't know if anyone else noticed this in their local town that had a parade, an absolute influx of really expensive Northern Reg Jeeps.
No, was that in
and
Sligo?
SUVs. Yeah.
Was it?
Loads of Land Rovers and all sorts of things. And I was going, where are all these coming out of? Of course I know what they are now. The well-to-do Pipers that were down for the weekend.
Ah, so them Pipers, Ray.
Yeah.
Them Pipers have all the money.
They've all the
I've
money.
always said it as well, man. If you want to know where the money is in this country, it's the Pipers that are doing it.
Let's talk about the float. So Leitrim GAA, there was a float, it was a trailer, a relatively medium-sized trailer, and it had a sign on it, Leitrim GAA, and it was pulled through a town, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, not easy to... So two things there. Number one is they came up with it awful quick, but then again, they didn't have anything to do. They just had to pull an empty trailer down.
It was a fierce idea. But I only got
Someone
the context.
said it was AI.
Was it?
I don't know.
No.
Like,
maybe it was.
It didn't know, but I mean, anyway, that doesn't matter. Do you know what the context for it is?
I believe I do. They didn't have a team.
Yeah. So
And
they didn't field the team.
They didn't field the team, but despite the fact that a couple of the old players, they're not old players, but lads that had left the team also offered, said, look, we'll fill out the ranks.
Yeah, so what happened was, I think your man's name is Poacher.
Yes, I seen a little clip of him.
Yeah, so he
was talking some strange stuff on TikTok.
He was just trying to make a point.
Right.
So they could have fielded the team. Of course they could have.
Okay.
But he was trying to make the point that we're no longer putting up with substandard effort in Leitrim anymore. So Leitrim would be fielding teams and Longford and Carlow and all these things, and they'd be winning nothing, and there'd be boys half-arseness in his mind now. Which is debatable, for sure. It's debatable whether full commitment is there or not.
Yeah.
He also said it's very different nowadays for these counties because you have a panel 1 year and then the next year 12 of them are in Australia.
Yeah, true.
10 of them are working in Dublin, want to play, but he's not taking that.
Yeah.
You're either at training 4 times a week now or not, like, and they're going, I'm working in a bank in Dublin, like, I'm not driving down to Leitrim to Carrick, like. So that's what he's not putting up with anymore. He said you're either all in on this or you're not in on it at all. I have a couple of opinions on it. And it'll be hard. I'm going to try my best to let this out properly without getting pure mixed up in me.
I'm going to cut you off as well. In about
you cut me off
minutes.
the second that it's wrong.
Yeah,
okay?
but also in about 3 minutes because you know me and the attention span on GAA matters.
So first of all, he made a very strong point, and so be it. I think it was kind of stupid. Like, he could have fielded the team.
Yeah.
The reason he didn't field the team was that he had 6 players on the senior panel that also play under 20s, and they had a match on Wednesday. And they were going to play. They were like, but we'll play both matches. Yeah. Don't worry about that. We've done it. And he was going, no, you won't.
Oh.
He said, you won't be coming playing senior
under
football.
Under 20s has always fascinated me.
Well, it used to be under 21. Now it's under 20 now. But it's the same. So their campaign is kicking off now on Wednesday night or something. They're playing Galway. Leitrim.
But would a senior team then be mostly people over 20?
Yeah, no, but there'd be young lads. The good young lads like would make senior. Like.
Yeah.
But again, in other counties then, they wouldn't... They either wouldn't let them until then, but like Leitrim doesn't have that choice. They have to get the best footballers in the county if they're 18 or not. Like,
do
you know?
What's the legal age to play GAA in this country?
You can't play minor and senior anymore. You used to be able to. I think that's true. You can't play minor football and senior football. Yeah. Minor football is under 18 or under 17. Yeah. So, but you can play 20s and you can play senior football.
Is this where the two Johnnies come out? Oh, he's going to play a senior?
What?
Something like that. Junior, I don't know.
Oh, that's different divisions. We won't get into that.
Yeah, please don't.
That's for
I realised there very quickly. I was way out of my depth.
That's more of a club thing anyway. So. But anyway, he was trying to make a strong point that this is the state of football nowadays. Leitrim can't be fielding teams unless we're all going hell for leather into it together. Yeah. You know, my point would be there's a wider thing going on there that he's half right about. Like in that, like, football is... It's gone too professional now.
I was going to say that was the thing in my head there. I was going to go.
Yeah, so he's not
very serious.
He's not taking anything less than the most professional level possible from all these boys. Yeah. And I would say to him, but they're amateurs.
They're amateurs.
I know that Dublin are professional. They're as good as professional, and a lot of other counties are as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, these lads need to live a life, and they're supposed to enjoy football
and life.
Yeah. They're supposed to be able to do all of those things together. Yeah. That's the whole point of this amateur game that we've played for hundreds of years. Yeah. And he has now gone, no, if they're all going with this professional attitude, then so are we. And like Leitrim have always gone in a professional attitude. Every county goes in with a professional attitude.
Despite what you might have said about them recently, perhaps.
No, but I mean, I was only joking.
Jokes, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you know, who was right now? But anyway, they pulled out of a shite league fixture against Fermanagh. It's not that big of a deal either, but like, people would say, well, it is, like, you know, the fucking ethics of the game and the spirit of the game is that you get out there and you play, you know. But he's alienated loads of boys that want to play for Leitrim, but can't get to his commitment. Yeah. They can't make the same commitment that he wants them to make.
Would he be like a man up in Donegal, the McGuinness fella? Was there a similar?
I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe
that
you would.
Small fella that sounds like what you call it?
One of the Smurfs is do. Oh yeah, like he'd be the same as well. But like I don't want to say they're all the same. But the other thing is as well, like he's getting. I don't know this for sure, but like he's getting a salary he's getting paid to go and train. So it's certainly in his interest. Like the boys aren't getting paid. Like so he's asking for a full professional attitude off them while they're not getting paid.
Yeah,
do you know? And it is difficult for counties. Like if you like people often go like, geez, what happened? Like Roscommon had a great 20s team there a couple of years. But they're all in Australia.
They're all gone to Australia.
They're in Canada.
It's very hard, yeah.
It's impossible.
And then they're going off playing other sports over the merge.
They're all going abroad to Medich. They're playing for clubs over there, and they're delighted because it's more social.
Yes.
So they're going down to the Bronx.
Yeah.
And playing football down in a makeshift GAA field down there with clubs, big clubs like big clubs. My own sister Eddie,
they're getting jobs.
My own sister Eddie played for like Boston Shamrocks last year, won Player of the Year. It's a huge community, like.
Yeah.
I was there presenting the parade, and St. John's were coming down the road, and there was Ballastadair coming down the road, and all these sports teams, and they're saying we're 800, 900 members strong. Yeah. These are huge clubs.
Yeah.
But the time you get into your 20s, then boys have to make life decisions instead.
And they're off.
And they're not hanging around in the same parishes. Like half the teams here in the west of Ireland, I guarantee you, half their players or more are not living in the county anymore.
Would it be a wise thing to shut down the airports?
Let's barricade the whole country.
Let's
Do you
build
know
a
what,
wall.
Ray? I'm glad we got to it. Let's lock this place down.
No more immigration.
Loads of people in, no one out. No one's allowed to leave.
But nobody in.
Yeah.
And nobody out.
No one in and no one out. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's put a wall up.
Let's build a wall like the one they did in Donegal.
But the other thing then as well, Ray, is there's a big difference then, because what's happening in Dublin is, right?
Yeah.
They have so many people that want to play GAA at club level, right?
Yeah.
So many. And they're all trying to pick and choose the biggest clubs. So you could be living in Clondalkin and you could drive past 8 GAA clubs to get to the one that you want, Ballymun, Kickums, or whatever, whoever you want your kids to play for.
Yeah.
Which is not the spirit of the game. You're supposed to play for the club that's, for the most part,
that you're living in.
People have always moved clubs, but you're supposed to go, no, that's the club that's down the road from me there now. So that's my community club. Yeah. They're not doing that in Dublin now. And they're all flooding in, and there's a huge influx into these clubs that don't have the facilities, or they have 4 or 5 senior teams, like 4 or 5 full teams.
Yeah, it shouldn't be allowed either.
Like that's where you should. That's not right. And then also, there's no land in Dublin for them. They're trying to rent pitches that aren't there every week.
I have an awful feeling I've left you talk too long on this.
And the other thing is, no, I'll stop now. I know. But that's
sign up for to the off the ball podcast. You get a free podcast every week.
Yeah,
offtheball.something.
If you want to, I mean, there's loads of people out there. I don't know anything about GAA. I'm just letting you all know, because there's boys out there going, "What is Kendy on about?" And I understand it. People are a lot more passionate about it than I am.
Yeah,
that's just my ignorant opinion of it all. There, you know, in Dublin you have a huge concentration of players all trying to play for loads of clubs, and then teams that can't feel that down here.
It's a wonder
teams like clubs amalgamating.
It's a wonder Conor McGregor said nothing about this when he addressed the world in the White House
on behalf of us.
Wouldn't you be raging?
Fair play to him. I'm glad he spoke on behalf of us.
Wouldn't you be raging about poor old Michael Martin getting in on the Thursday?
It's an awful,
or the Wednesday. So the leader of the country, the elected leader of the country.
It's some kick to the scrat.
It was a real stunt now.
It's an awful stunt. Like. Yeah. So they invited him in, and then they said, right, we're going to, on Paddy's Day, you're not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the usual sit down.
But do you think
I'm not going to look in the eye. I want to talk about you.
Do you think they said it to Micheál Martin's office? Said, look, we're not going to do Paddy's Day with you. We've other commitments that day. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
But we're going to get you in the Thursday before the Paddy's weekend.
Yeah. So haven't they always been there on Paddy's Day?
I think so.
So did he not know that something was up?
He probably did, yeah. He's probably wondering, who's this buck you're getting in?
Who are they going to bring it in?
Yeah. I'd say they were fair shocked.
Must be Daniel O'Donnell or something.
Must be. Daniel's here.
It must be Daniel. Oh, he's here. Trump was looking out the window. He's here.
He's here.
Yeah, so he must have been like, but like you can see they're all fuming. Like, and rightly so. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm glad that, there's still some flutes online that are like, no, he does though. If you put aside all that other stuff, he
said was right.
Well, I'll tell you this now, and I'll say no more about it after this. Now. So, Conor McGregor went up and he said that the Dublin is no longer a safe space, albeit debatable. A good point to make, right?
Yeah,
it is no longer safe around Dublin, like
or as safe
as okay,
it might have used to be.
So, what I would say there is, like, you can take from this what you want. Now, I would try and get rid of all the people in Dublin who maybe would punch an old fella in a pub. You know,
right?
Or I would try and get rid of.
How would you gauge that now?
Would
you do interviews?
Like if you want to be safe, like anyone that might punch an old fella in a pub.
Yeah,
I would try and get rid of anyone who has been convicted either like civilly or criminally of
but
sexual
when you
assault.
say get rid of them, are you talking about a long walk down a short pier? Or
no, as far away from Ireland as possible.
Oh.
Get these out as far away from Ireland as possible.
Deport them?
Yeah.
But where would you send them?
Doesn't matter.
It does because...
No, as far away as possible.
Because remember, populations don't react well to new people coming in.
Well, that's not my problem, Ray. We're deporting them. We're trying to make Dublin safer.
Yeah.
So we're getting rid of fellas who punch out lads in pubs.
Yeah.
People who've been civilly convicted or criminally convicted of sexual assault, out the door.
Yeah.
People whose maybe their family members are married to huge drug cartels.
Yes.
People who
are professionally looking at the Dublin football team. People who are trying to bring in this element of professionalism. Anyone that moves clubs.
I think Ray has completely missed the point here now.
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
I think you might have missed the point.
No.
My point is the irony of him saying that.
That is very true.
Actually outrageous.
I did miss the point, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
this is a fella saying that the city isn't safe, and he is.
And he's very much one of the elements.
I mean, this is a fella, another, twice he's been 2 driving convictions,
Yeah.
For dangerous driving.
Yeah.
Telling us that the city's not safe. He has more crime built up in it.
I never thought of it like that, actually.
It's just the irony of it all. And the irony of these flutes online. The debate is now over again because he's the flute that spoke about it. I've said this to you before. All of the validity of any argument that you think we should have a conversation around the level of immigration that's coming into, that's gone now. Because that's the flute up there on the pedestal.
To say it.
Gone, out the door.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Because what's happening now is the huge racists in this country now are clinging on to his word. I see it all over TikTok and all. No, whatever you think about your man, though, now, in fairness, and you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
He is the worst of the worst kind of people.
Yeah.
And we're kind of going, and that's the problem.
It's just, I can actually see that because that
you can see
you see it all around you. They go, I'll give him that,
he might have been convicted without lady, and he might have punched that fella into the jaw in the pub.
Yeah.
But
what he said was right,
and you just speak for me now. Okay, well that's but so for the first time ever, even though it's hilarious to see them all scrambling now and clearly very sore that Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about Micheál Martin or Simon Harris. I mean, that's hilarious to watch that happen. But I'm glad that they all come out and said, I'm just letting everyone know, not a chance does that man ever get to speak for Ireland, right? And there's people going, yes, he does, as just as much as he doesn't. He just doesn't.
Just mad he got
Sorry, now, you might say, Kendy, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He just, and
it's mad they gave him that platform.
No, I mean, I'm not surprised, though.
And Yuan even said we couldn't think of anyone better.
They couldn't think of anyone.
I mean,
now look, I don't
Daniel Donald was available.
Yeah, Daniel was ready to go.
You could have brought Blind Boy Boat Club over.
You could have brought Blind Boy Boat Club over.
Dustin the Turkey, I'm sure would have done it.
Why not bring Jedwards? Just bring them.
Enya would have come out of retirement in the castle.
Absolutely, she would have. Bring Kieran Quinn over. Who are the other big? Bring EJ. Some of the big Sligo heads.
Yeah.
Bring them over as well and let them talk. But anyway, I mean, that's the only point I want to make on it. It's just the irony is outrageous. I can't believe that he believes the words that are coming out of his mouth and all the stuff.
And I never even thought of that. And I'd be, so I think I hope that I'm sort of switched on. But you've made the point there now that I hadn't thought of at all.
No.
The absolute irony of him saying that.
Yeah. Outrageous, whatever you think about him, that's unbelievable. But I mean, it is kind of hilarious because we don't need to take it serious. No. The thing is, there's people crying. Now the thing, there's victims out there of stuff that he's done that are going, I can't believe I'm watching this guy. But
did you see the map in the Oval Office that Trump wanted to show him?
Was it like a treasure map that he drew himself?
It looked like it was a map of what it is now, the Gulf of America.
Oh yeah,
but it was,
I did, yeah.
Yeah, but it looked like something was a cartoon that was drawn.
He drew us. Trump drew us. Yeah. Gulf of Merch.
Yeah, Merch.
And he started, and he had a little tongue out when he was doing it with crayons. Yeah, like I would with Ali. I said, good job.
Getting back to the Paddy's Day parade.
Oh yeah.
What was your favourite float?
The favourite float I saw there was an unbelievable Queen Maeve float. I don't know who it was, but the woman that was on it looked exactly like you would imagine Queen Maeve would look like.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That was fairly good. There was one for the Sligo Triathlon Club, and I was tired looking at it.
To the cyclists.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen that one, yeah.
They had to do that the whole way around the town.
Around, yeah, it's literally cycled.
I started sweating when I saw them.
Yeah.
My favourite float of the whole lot, though, wasn't actually a float. It was just a tractor pulling the McHale Fusion.
Oh, stop, Mark.
No.
And I don't know why or how.
We're not agricultural.
No, we're not.
No.
Well, I am, but my father wouldn't call me agricultural. But there was 3 or 4, I think, Lenehan contractors.
Yeah.
pulled up, and it was the biggest tractors and the biggest trailers that I have seen in a long, long time.
They had a Michaela Fusion plus 3.
I was speechless looking at these yokes.
Beautiful pieces of machinery.
I tell you, balers have come on.
Balers have come on. That'll bail.
That'll bail 18 bales at once.
And wrap it while you're driving. I mean...
While it's at home in the shed, overnight.
But come here, why do you think now all of a sudden I have such a huge admiration for machinery like that? So you grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
So you know
the
what
machinery
those
was way smaller though.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, we were doing silage. Like the machinery was so small. It was just like trailers you'd pull.
Yeah.
And we had a little Massey Ferguson 133. I wouldn't be a little tractor. It'd be a standard tractor. Now, most people would have had a 135. I don't know how my grandfather decided to be. No more than, I suppose, me, we didn't ever had a Sega Mega Drive. We had a Nintendo. It's just one of them things in our family. We never had the things that everybody else had. Paddy Farrell across the road, 135.
Yeah, you were a GameCube.
We were.
Family. The only fucking family.
I always get the wrong one. Yeah. We had a 133. Slightly lesser tractor than everybody else around the parish. But the 133 was a marvellous yoke. And what you do is you load it up with a load of concrete blocks at the front so that it balances the sides and the back.
Yeah, so when the weight comes on.
Bales, yeah. So I would be bringing in bales for years with this 133. And as the years went on, it stopped bringing in the bales.
Yeah.
I'd lift a bale, the bale would go nowhere, the tractor would tip up at the front.
Yeah.
And I just went, what's happening? And what was happening was the balers were getting bigger.
No.
That's a really good.
Was saying the same size.
That's the kind of story now Laura would tell me to save for the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Oh, you should save that one for the podcast. Really good. Really good story.
No, but the thing is, your tractor was saying, and they're getting bigger and bigger, but they're getting more and more beautiful.
Yeah.
The reason I have such an appreciation for them is because I have now watched 3 seasons of Clarkson's Farm.
Really? So now you love this sort of stuff.
So now I'm like big into looking at this stuff.
Would you ever try?
And before that, I only ever...
Simulator. Weren't you with that?
But I was big into Farming Simulator as well.
Do you play that at all now?
No, but like as Trevor would tell you, I had no interest in farming back in the day, only for Trevor's a friend of mine, a huge agricultural
He's the agricultural consultant of the podcast.
Yeah, so but
we have a building consultant, Trevor Doherty, and agricultural consultant,
Trevor Coughlin.
Trevor Coughlin.
So, but I would have hated going on to his farm, but he was teaching me how to drive, so I had to do it. So, but now I look at those kind of things and go, Jesus.
I was speechless.
He was the first man I ever saw do a whoa.
A what?
Whoa.
What's a whoa?
He saw like the first version. We're outside my house and he saw the first version of a Michaela Fusion.
Right.
And like I had never seen anyone react like it was like he saw the real Santa Claus. Like,
really?
He was like, whoa. Like when he saw this yoke. And I was like, what the fuck? But now it's up to the Michaela Fusion 3 Plus, Ray.
Yeah. And for all the farming enthusiasts out there, you know, that was the bit no one ever asked for.
Imagine.
Yeah.
But it shows you the diversity of us as people.
Politics.
Now.
Agriculture.
Now, would I get up into a tractor and do a day's work? I wouldn't be back passage.
I overtook a big tractor like this only days ago.
Oh, you're some daredevil, man. It was doing 20 kilometres an
there
hour.
was definitely a 16-year-old driving it.
Oh, yeah, good.
Tractors these days are doing 60, 70 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
He was driving in a massive trailer on the back and he was scrolling through Instagram. I could see it out the window of the van and he was just, he had one leg up on the wheel arch.
Oh, Lord. Are you allowed to put people in the cab now? No.
I don't think
Can you have other people
anyway.
in the cab? Yeah, they probably do it like they're law unto themselves, like, you know. Yeah. The other thing is, when you were in school, did people drive tractors to school?
The odd one did, yeah.
They were the coolest boys going.
They were literally school royalty.
Yeah, they were loyalty, like, yeah.
It's
royalty,
mad.
sorry. Did I say loyalty?
Royalty. Yeah.
They were absolute royalty in the school, the boys that drove the tractors in.
There was
school.
one or two lads as well. One a good friend of mine, I probably said this before, Barry O'Sullivan, he used to drive his van in because he was running, his dad had a company at the time, which is now, Barry is now running the company. Yeah, so the two names on the company, Tunes and Balloons was kind of what we named it. He did Bounce Castles.
Barry's Castle Fashions.
Barry's Castle Fashions was another way. Yeah. But the actual company name was Carousel Enterprises Limited.
That's right.
And the enterprising gentlemen in my school, as Barry left the van outside, they rubbed the C off it. So it became Arousal Enterprises Limited. You have to credit.
That's very innovative.
He
should have hired them on the spot.
They just had to rub the C out.
Yeah, he should have said, this is exactly the kind of get up and go that I need in arousal entertainment. Now, Barry had his full driving licence at 7, which was very good now, in fairness to him. So he was driving the van at 7, which is brilliant. Anyway, that's the crack. I don't know if there's any other old crack rate. How are we looking? Not too bad. Other than that, should we talk about the thing yet?
The thing?
No, but I don't know if we should, though.
I think it's probably no harm to start talking about the thing.
We don't know the full ins and outs of this yet. The only thing that we do know is that we've signed a contract. So
people know because they're seeing it now on the old podcast.
They will, yeah. And that's what we're trying to address now.
Yeah.
So me and Ray, after months and months of deliberation, and huge contract negotiations,
massive contract, out in Dubai,
out in Dubai, you're flown out to Dubai,
every
champagne,
weekend.
Ryanair first class, and we signed up with the Go Loud podcast network.
Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't it mad?
As they say, we have joined the Go Loud family of things.
Yeah, loads of things.
Loads of things.
We're one of the loads of things.
They have Today FM.
They do.
They have
News Talk.
News Talk, thank you.
Spin Southwest.
They've Spin Southwest.
They do.
But there's loads of things.
Yeah, but they have loads of original podcasts as well.
Yeah.
And we are part of their non-original podcasting, which
Go
is
Loud Presents.
Go Loud Presents.
Yeah, and we're one of the ones that are now presenting to people.
Yeah. So they're going to present us to everybody. So we are now on their network. Before that, we were on Anchor, which was just like they hosted our podcast. It's now hosted by Go Loud.
Yeah.
We're delighted. It took longer, like as in we really, really thought about this, like when they came to us. But now that it's happened, we're delighted it has happened.
Yeah. Now the only thing is there'll be a scatter of ads now.
Yeah. There'll be some ads in your thing now, but sure, look, we have to make money somehow.
But every one of these ads we've picked personally.
We have personally picked these ads.
These are our favourite companies.
Yeah, and we might be reading some ads. But anyway, that's all the kind of... You don't need to worry about any of that stuff.
No. We're still going to be the same cute guy?
We're the same two cute guys, Ray, as we always... Except for now, like, obviously, we might have more money and better social status than all of you, so we probably won't talk to you in the street anymore.
No.
But other than that...
And we're going to be spending Christmas with Ian Dempsey.
We're going to be spending Christmas
at
Ian Dempsey. Everyone sleeps over at Ian Dempsey's house
exactly,
at Christmas from the Go Loud network.
Yeah, he's the king.
Which is brilliant. So if you see us in town, don't talk to us, but know that we're still the same two cute guys that we always were.
Same two cute guys, just we're now signed with a multinational corporation.
Yeah. And we're now doing it for the man. We're going to be in the White House next year, the two of us.
And you'd wonder
fighting for Jay. There's a thing, the clubs, you see, we'll be on there now next St. Patrick's Day, the two of us going, the clubs in Dublin are too big, and Leitrim couldn't even field the team against Fermanagh.
But back to your idea, I do think before you cut me off and said I'm missing the point.
Yeah.
If you want to get rid of some of the professionalist GA players, I'm all for that. Like,
you want to get rid of some of them as well?
Yeah, let's take them out.
Is it to make you look cooler?
Well, no, I see, I'm speaking from a five-a-side experience, which I came from this evening.
Yeah.
And
the GA boys are too fit.
What happens in the five-a-side is, our five-a-side at the minute is mostly good crack.
Yeah.
Right? But five-a-sides in any soccer sport or anything, it can get progressively more professional if you let it.
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, it's still good crack. And the reason I'm enjoying it is because I can play when it's good crack.
Yeah.
Once it stops being good crack and there's any bit of seriousness at all, my deficiencies in skill and ability become quite apparent and I am no longer needed there.
Yeah, there's no point in that, though.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
And even when they put me in goal, and James is here flicking the keys himself to save him. James did do the five-a-side until a fella by the name Mike Murphy kicked the ball really hard. James did his best to save it, hit his wrist and broke it.
I wouldn't say that was his best to save it, no.
But did you try your best? Was that you committing, James, is it?
Yeah,
it was. He committed.
He came out of the wrong angle, but okay.
He learned a very bad lesson.
He learned a very valuable lesson.
He lost a month's work.
Yeah. What'd you do? You sprained it? He
broke
his hand.
Broke it. That man is one of the finest guitar players in the town.
Yeah, and broke his hand. Yeah, which is always a big worry when you're a musician.
So I just be afraid that of that sort of stuff happening because I can't be breaking things.
Yeah, but the JA players do come in and they're obviously quite fit and quite strong and quite well able to play sports.
Yes, they do, indeed.
Yeah. And it makes us look like a bunch of jabronis.
So I can only imagine how Leitrim feel. You know?
That's why he's not letting them, you see. They're playing five-a-side down Cleaver.
Yeah.
Listen, lads, unless you're committed to this, don't be going down Cleaver playing five-a-side with a bunch of fluted musicians.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't be doing that.
True,
But anyway, Ray, look, we'll sort out our politics over the next year and we'll be ready. We'll be ready to talk to President Trump this time next year.
We'd like to thank the White Ag. We'd also like to thank our wonderful sponsors, Maves and the Garavogue.
Yeah.
Because they, in fairness to them, they put on a fierce weekend's music.
They did.
Not just them.
Well, it was the Sligo Summer Festival.
Sligo Summer Festival.
Yeah.
But they
put on a St. Patrick's Day. The Atlantic played it on Saturday night.
Did you enjoy that?
It was class, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
We're up there at the big stage. Too much room. We didn't know what to do with
loads of space.
We didn't know what to do with the room.
Talk to any of you, you're too far away.
We're used to being bet onto an old stage somewhere in the ballroom.
An 8 foot by 4 foot job.
Yeah. Two old platforms. So it was great crack, I have to say. A big shout out to the Sligo Summer Festival committee and especially Aileen, who was like liaison and all that stuff as well.
Mighty.
Like what a pleasure she is to do with. Like,
she's marvellous.
Nothing gets put. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
She gave you all the things you wanted.
Everything. You could chat to her. She's like, yeah, I'll have that in an hour.
We had 27 magnums provided at the side of the stage.
Yeah, 27 Magnum and you all shared one.
Yeah.
And I had 26 of them. That's kind of the crack. Thanks to James for flicking the keys clean off himself here as well.
280 coming up next week. Are you any thoughts about it? No.
Didn't even know what episode number this was.
279.
We're getting close to fucking 300.
We're getting home. Yeah, and I have to talk about, will the 300 be our live show?
Oh, jeez, I hope not.
It'll have to be.
I thought now that we're part of the Go Loud family, we don't have to do any more live shows.
You're probably right. We'll have one in May or June at some point.
I hate myself.
Yeah, sorry about that. But we might get Sean O'Reilly back on, tell him an update in his life, because we did that for the 100th episode, didn't
Imagine
we?
200 episodes since he did that. Like, that's crazy.
That was back in COVID.
Yeah, during COVID. Anyway, that's the crack. Welcome to Go Loud, everybody. We hope we don't wreck your skulls. Ray, fair play to me.
Fair play to me.
Good luck.
Good luck.
The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Maeve's Cozy Front Lounge and the Garavo.